Welcome to week 3, everyone. This is going to be a quick video. It's not, there's not really a lot to go through. Um, so I'm just going to make this real quick. First of all, this is going to be your intro page. The video that you're listening to currently is going to be right at the top of this page. I'm recording it as we speak, as you can tell. So this is week 3. I have a couple important things to go through. So you only have 2 assignments this week. You have a discussion question and you have a quiz. You do not have a paper to write. I'm doing this in an effort to hopefully boost the amount of participation within the discussion question. I've went through this once before, maybe twice. I'm going to go through it a third time because I want to make sure that everybody does understand. Um, I I'm hoping that there is major participation within the discussion question because the discussion question allows you to go through and not just regurgitate the information that you've listened to and read, but actually explain your understanding of it. And at the same time, have people read your understanding and reply to it so you can then glean more understanding and information from those other students that are replying to your posts or you're replying to their posts. Um, I find that this is, with large participation within my students, is an incredibly important tool for learning. One of the biggest things that I'm trying to do within all of my classes is to teach my students to think for themselves and uh, find information for themselves and not just regurgitate information. I don't want somebody to just go through, watch the videos, and just be like, "Yeah, this is an expressionism," or "This is post-war, whatever." Just kind of say what they think they're supposed to say. I want all of my students to be able to watch something and actually break it down and understand the meaning behind how the camera is being moved, the dialogue, the style and framing of shots, what was going on historically at that time in history when the film was made. And not just regurgitate, oh, I read this and this is what it is. And that's where the discussion question comes in. So, just to be clear, I'm placing a larger emphasis this week and potentially future weeks in the discussion question because that's where I feel like a lot of the big learning will come in, the big understanding. And understanding is really true learning. All right. So what I've done is I've raised the point value of the discussion question this week. The point value went from 5 points to 20 points. 20 points is pretty considerable. You will be writing a discussion question that is 200 words or more. You don't have to stop at 200 words. You don't have to cruise in at 202 words or 204 words. 200 words or more. If you feel like you have the understanding information where you want to write 300 or 350 words, that is great. That's completely awesome. A 200 word post is basically 2 kind of long paragraphs. It's not a considerable amount of writing. So 200 words minimum on your initial discussion post, answering the questions on the discussion page. And then each reply, you are required to do 2 replies to your fellow students. That means you need to go in, read their discussion post, and reply. And your discussion reply is a minimum of 100 words. So I want more than just, hey, great post. I agree. That's all of about 12 words. What I would like is, hey, I agree with this. Did you think of this perspective? Or I disagree with what you're saying here, and here's why I disagree. Um, and give your perspective and understanding. And again, the 100 words is a minimum. It's not what you have to shoot for at your maximum. That's your minimum. So if you go over and you do 200 words, 150 words, 300 words, that's great. Again, this is where you get the time to read and understand what somebody else's viewpoint is, and you can express your viewpoint and understanding, and real learning and understanding comes in. So focus on the discussion question this week. Secondly, you have a quiz, and the quiz, of course, is over all the materials. So I'm going to just kind of whip through all these pages, and I'm going to call this a day and get this posted for you guys. So, your big film that you're going to be reading this week is The Great Dictator with Charlie Chaplin from the 1940s. This week's videos and main focus is the 1930s to early 40s. So please jump in here, read everything, watch everything, I highly recommend go back, review. Um, I'll be honest, I don't mind if you're in your quiz and you're referring back to portions of videos and your readings for more understanding. I don't mind that at all. I don't actually consider that cheating. I consider that a form of learning and committing to memory and committing to your understanding. So I just gave you a little, dare I say, cheat code to this course. But really, to make that work, what you need to do is you actually need to go through, read each page, watch each video, get your basic understanding, potentially take some notes of things that you find that are very important. And then when you go back through the quiz, you are then able to go, oh, okay, I remember where that was. This was on this page, and it was halfway through, or it was in this particular reading, or in this particular video. All right. Then you have the jazz singer. So this is from 1927. So this is the late 20s heading into the 30s. The 30s are kind of our main focal point. Late 20s, I forgot this one was late 20s. So late 20s to very early 40s. So there's that like decade and a year or so that we're mainly focusing on. Okay. Duck Soup, 1933. This is an important one that you're going to need to answer within your discussion question. So please jump in here and make sure that you read all the stuff. There's quite a bit of reading right here, and then here's the film right here. So make sure you go through all of that. The Bride of Frankenstein, one of my personal favorites from this era. I do love this one. I hope you enjoy it. I look forward to hearing a little bit more from you guys about this one. Some supplemental materials for week 3. I absolutely highly recommend jumping in here and not using the supplemental materials as just a an extra little something that you don't really feel like you need to do. The supplemental materials absolutely will assist you with your discussion question as well as your quiz. It's supplemental materials because it is extra, but it is extra to give you a much more definitive understanding of the era. Okay. And then we roll on in here to our discussion questions. So make sure you read thoroughly. I want you to note what is down here in red. I'm still finding that a lot of people aren't answering either two replies to their fellow students, and I'm also finding there's a lot of people that are as I said are skipping, just not doing the discussion question, not doing the initial post. Your initial post is due by Thursday midnight. Okay. So make sure that you have went through and read everything and watched everything by Thursday in an effort to write this discussion post. You post it on Thursday, and then that gives everybody Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So 3 days to then turn around and reply. And there hopefully can be a nice open discourse. Okay. And then at that point, anytime after Thursday, between Thursday and Sunday is when I recommend doing the quiz. Um, Honestly, I look at the quiz and I would dare to say, do your post and answer at least one of, and write at least one reply to a student, read a few other posts before moving into the quiz, just so you can garner some more of that understanding. All right. And then we move on over to our quiz and our standard quiz. By the way, our quiz is only worth 10 points. I say only to let you know that the discussion question is worth 20. So it's worth 2 times the quiz. Okay. And that's all you have for the week. So lots of reading, just as many videos as you normally would have, but a larger chunk for your discussion question, and then also you have your quiz. If you need anything, please by all means reach out through the Canvas inbox right here on the left hand side, and I will get back to you as quickly as possible. Update on the ice storm out here in Tennessee. The ice storm is pretty much over, but there have been cold temperatures. We've been sitting around in like the 12s, 13s, 15s degree range in the middle of the day, so it's not melting real quick. But lucky for me, I only lost power a couple times for 30, 40 minutes, an hour here and there, and then everything was all good. So thank you guys for working so hard. I have been enjoying your papers and your discussion questions as you've been turning them in. And I really love what you guys have been writing. You guys have been doing a really great job. So thank you so much. And if you need anything, reach out, and I will see you guys um, on next week. If I need to, if you need anything, I will see you before. All right.